The neon lights of a city reflected off the wet streets as the last echoes of a concert faded into the night. Fans lingered outside, clutching their banners, murmuring in awe about the two names that had become legends, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Years had passed since their rise to stardom, but the world still whispered their stories, replayed their performances, and marveled at the paths they had carved in the entertainment industry. It wasn't just fame that kept them in the hearts of millions. It was the way they moved on stage, on screen, and in life. Wang Yibo, with his effortless charisma and electrifying energy, had a presence that made time feel suspended. Every step he took, every beat he hit on his drums, every glide of his dance across a stage seemed to carry a story that fans could feel deep in their bones. Xiao Zhan, on the other hand, had a gentler power, a quiet magnetism that drew people in. His eyes held a depth that told stories even when he was silent, and his voice, soft, resonant, and warm, could carry emotion heavier than words themselves. Their journeys were parallel yet contrasting, and that contrast was part of the magic. Wang Yibo had begun as a young man obsessed with movement, with rhythm, with mastering the art of performance. He was relentless, driven by a desire to be more than just a name on a screen. Fans remembered watching his early performances, where he transformed each stage into a universe entirely his own. They remembered the way he trained, tirelessly, often until the muscles in his body ached, yet his spirit never wavered. Each victory, each flawless routine, wasn't just talent, it was dedication that fans couldn't help but admire. Xiao Zhan's path, though, had a different flavor. He emerged with a soul that seemed to resonate with the human heart itself. His acting brought tears, laughter, and all in one breath. Scenes where he portrayed love, loss, and longing were so visceral that viewers felt the emotions as if they were their own. Fans often spoke of the moments they had to pause, overwhelmed, after seeing him deliver a line with a subtle tilt of his head or a barely there flicker in his eyes. While Yibo's magic was kinetic, Xiao Zhan's was emotional. Together, they represented a full spectrum of artistry. There were rumors, of course, stories whispered online about friendship, rivalry, and the tension that often accompanies rising stars. But what fans realized, even in the smallest glimpses, was that both men were fiercely dedicated to their craft, and in that dedication, there was a kind of mutual respect. They had never shared the same project in a leading capacity, but their names were often mentioned together in conversations about modern Chinese entertainment. The mere mention of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan together sent fans into a nostalgic frenzy, recalling moments when the energy of one complemented the soul of the other. One evening, the two attended the same charity event, a rare convergence that fans had waited for years to witness. The venue was glittering with crystal chandeliers, and the air buzzed with anticipation. Wang Yibo arrived first, moving through the crowd with the grace of someone born to be observed. His smile was brief but genuine, and cameras flashed like lightning as he shook hands and posed with fans. Moments later, Xiao Zhan entered, his presence quieter yet equally magnetic. The room seemed to shift, as though the energy he carried bent the very light around him. When their paths crossed, a hush fell over the room. Fans craned their necks, hearts pounding, as the two stars exchanged a simple nod and smile. There was no need for grand gestures. Their aura alone spoke volumes. Observers whispered about the unspoken bond between them, the way two people could exist in the same universe yet never collide fully, leaving fans to imagine all the what-ifs. The night turned unforgettable when they took the stage together for a brief, impromptu performance. Wang Yibo's fingers danced across a keyboard while Xiao Zhan's voice carried a melody that made the room vibrate with emotion. Neither had rehearsed for this. It was raw, spontaneous, and brilliant. Fans recorded every second, the footage going viral almost instantly. Comments flooded social media. It's like watching a universe in harmony. I never knew life could feel like this. These two are from another world. That performance, short as it was, cemented a shared legend. Yet, the allure of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan wasn't confined to the stage. Behind the scenes, they were humans like everyone else, struggling, learning, and growing under the crushing weight of fame. Wang Yibo's fans admired his fierce independence, his love for motorcycles, and his dedication to martial arts. Xiao Zhan's followers cherished his humility, his laughter that could light up a room, and his commitment to his craft. Both navigated the highs and lows of public life with a grace that only deepened admiration. It was in the moments fans rarely saw, the quiet interviews, the candid behind-the-scenes clips, that the magic truly revealed itself. Wang Yibo could be playful, teasing a crew member, yet a moment later lose himself in concentration, practicing a move endlessly until it was perfect. Xiao Zhan could joke and laugh, then reflect silently for a moment, as if weighing the weight of the world on his shoulders, reminding fans that depth doesn't always need to be loud. The stories fans told about them went beyond performance. There were tales of kindness, of unexpected generosity. Fans recalled instances where Wang Yibo had stayed after long nights to personally meet those waiting outside, even when exhausted. Others remembered Xiao Zhan quietly donating to causes without fanfare, letting his actions speak where words weren't necessary. These acts, though simple, added layers to the public image, painting a portrait of two men whose artistry was matched by their humanity. And then there were the roles that defined them, roles that made fans feel as if they had known Yibo and Zhan in entirely different lives. Wang Yibo's characters often carried a fire, rebellious, untamed, yet deeply loyal. Fans saw parts of themselves reflected in his defiance and determination. Xiao Zhan, in contrast, often embodied vulnerability and resilience, his performances exploring love, regret, and redemption. Together, they became archetypes, movement and emotion, kinetic energy and emotional gravity. Fans debated endlessly, writing essays online, creating videos, and drawing fan art that captured not just the physical likeness but the essence of their spirits. Time passed, yet the legend endured. Even new generations of fans discovered them, often drawn first by viral clips or trending soundbites, only to become hooked by the depth of their artistry. Social media became a living archive of admiration, a tapestry woven from live performances, interviews, and fan memories. The energy never faded, it evolved. Stories of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan weren't just about the present. They were timeless, echoing in every corner of fan communities. One winter morning, a group of fans gathered in a small cafe, sharing stories of their favorite moments. Someone pulled out a phone, replaying a dance performance by Wang Yibo. The room collectively held its breath as he leapt across the stage, each movement a story in itself. Then, a video of Xiao Zhan acting in a historical drama filled the screen. Tears shimmered in eyes as his character's heartbreak became their own. There was no rivalry here, only reverence, a shared acknowledgement. Long after the cameras stop rolling and the stages go dark, the names Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan continue to echo in conversations across the world. Fans don't talk about them the way people talk about ordinary celebrities. They speak with emotion, with memory, with something close to reverence. It's not just admiration, it's connection. And that connection was forged in moments that felt almost unreal when they happened, yet unforgettable once they passed. There was a time when the industry felt different because of them. Not louder, not flashier, but deeper. Wang Yibo's presence was sharp and electrifying, like lightning striking without warning. The moment he stepped into a frame, everything else seemed to fall away. His eyes held focus, his movements carried intention, and even his silence felt powerful. Fans remember watching him perform and realizing their hearts were racing without knowing why. It wasn't just what he did. It was how fully he inhabited every second. Xiao Zhan, meanwhile, entered scenes like a slow-burning flame. His expressions lingered, his emotions unfolded gradually, and before viewers realized it, they were completely pulled into his world. Fans often say they didn't simply watch Xiao Zhan act, they felt alongside him. When he smiled, it felt warm. When he cried, it hurt. His performances left something behind long after the screen faded to black. What made fans talk then, and still talk now, was the contrast. Wang Yibo felt like motion, speed, rebellion, and fire. Xiao Zhan felt like emotion, tenderness, reflection, and soul. Together, even without standing side by side every moment, they formed a balance that fascinated people. Fans didn't just choose one or the other, they explored both, discovering different parts of themselves reflected back. One unforgettable moment fans still replay happened during a large-scale award event. The lights dimmed, the audience hushed, and Wang Yibo walked onto the stage first. His posture was calm but confident, every step measured. Applause thundered through the hall, yet he remained composed, as if fully in control of the storm around him. Moments later, Xiao Zhan followed, greeted by a wave of cheers that felt softer but no less powerful. The camera caught a fleeting second where their gazes crossed, not dramatic, not exaggerated, just a brief acknowledgement. And yet, that single second exploded online. Fans dissected it endlessly. That look, that pause, that quiet moment between two stars who understood the weight of the spotlight better than anyone else. It wasn't scripted. That's why it mattered. People often forget how much pressure comes with fame at that level. Wang Yibo carried expectations of perfection in performance, every dance sharper, every role more intense than the last. Xiao Zhan carried emotional expectations, every character deeper, every portrayal more moving. Fans watched them navigate criticism, praise, silence, and storms. And instead of breaking, they evolved. There were nights Wang Yibo stayed in practice rooms long after others had left, repeating moves until his body memorized them completely. Fans later noticed the difference on stage, the precision, the control, the effort hidden behind effortless execution. Those who followed him closely knew nothing about Wang Yibo was accidental. And Xiao Zhan, he prepared in a quieter way, reading scripts over and over, reflecting on characters, searching for emotional truth rather than dramatic flair. Fans noticed how his acting matured, not louder but richer. Each role felt lived in, as though he had borrowed someone else's heart and returned it changed. Social media became a living museum of their impact. Old clips resurfaced constantly, fan edits, slowed down performances, emotional scenes paired with soft music. Comments flooded in from people discovering them years later, saying things like, "Why does this still feel new?" Or, "How did I miss this?" That's when fans realized something powerful. Their influence wasn't tied to a moment. It was timeless. One particularly viral clip showed Wang Yibo performing under harsh stage lighting, sweat dripping down his face, eyes burning with focus. The crowd roared, yet his expression never broke. In contrast, another trending clip featured Xiao Zhan standing still in a drama scene, eyes trembling, voice barely holding together, and viewers admitted they cried without understanding why. Two different energies, same impact. Fans often say Wang Yibo makes them want to be stronger, braver, more disciplined. Xiao Zhan makes them want to be kinder, more honest, more emotionally open. That dual inspiration is rare. It's why conversations about them never fade. They represent two sides of growth, two ways of surviving and thriving in a demanding world. There were also moments when fans saw glimpses of vulnerability. Interviews where Wang Yibo admitted exhaustion, or when Xiao Zhan spoke about self-doubt. Those moments didn't weaken their image, they strengthened it. Fans felt seen, understood, connected. And then there were the quiet moments fans cherished the most, the unscripted smiles, the laughter caught off camera, the small gestures of respect towards staff and supporters. These moments spread not because of PR, but because someone happened to capture something real. Years passed. New stars emerged. Trends shifted. But Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan remained reference points. Fans compared performances, discussed character depth, debated artistry, not out of competition but appreciation. Their names became shorthand for excellence. In fan gatherings, online spaces, and late-night conversations, people still ask, "Do you remember when?" And everyone does. They remember where they were when they first watched that performance, that drama, that interview. That's the kind of memory ordinary fame doesn't create. That's why fans still talk. Because Wang Yibo didn't just perform, he ignited energy. Because Xiao Zhan didn't just act, he touched hearts. Because together, even separately, they defined an era that refuses to fade. And as long as people continue searching for inspiration, discipline, emotion, and authenticity, their names will continue to be spoken, not as nostalgia, but as legacy. If this story moved you, inspired you, or brought back memories, don't forget to like this video, share it with other fans, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this. Your support keeps these legends alive and the conversation going.